very chilly workshop in Bedfordshire, the UK. It's about 0 degrees outside, and with the wind it's really quite nippy. However, today's video already has been a little bit of a disaster because the original intro and the footage leading up to where I'm going to show you in a minute when we go over to the lathe was all out of focus. Stupid little schoolboy error. When I finished shooting my last video, it was on manual focus because I like to do that when I'm shooting anything that's spinning on the lathe so that it doesn't try and catch up with the focus, and it was on manual focus when I did the intro and the first section of the video. So what I intend to do is to put up here, or maybe here, a couple of out of focus frames of how it started and the sort of the shape that I did leading up to when I bored the depth hole. What I'm actually using is a piece of ash that I had when I, off my mate Martin Saban Smith, when I first ever went down to visit him back in October 2015, I think it was. And I took some wood down for him and he gave me a bootload of wood, and this is one of those pieces. So I'm keeping on with the vein of turning wood that I've been kindly sent or given. My intent is to do a hollow form. There are quite a few checks in it and inclusions, so I really don't know what's going to happen, but I do intend to post the video even if it blows apart. It's a wet turning, so I won't be finishing it completely. That'll be possibly the subject of a future video. So sit back and enjoy, and I'll take you over to the lathe now and give you a quick lowdown into what I've done and where we are at this stage. So that's great. What I'm going to do is just refine the outside to what I want, and then I'm going to start. I'll set up the Simon Hope hollowing system, easy arm hollowing system, and we'll start to hollow. And I'll say again, I'm not sure how this is going to end up, whether I leave, like this part here for example, because it dips in, I might take this away and leave that a bit more even. I'm going to have to leave it very thick here to leave this on, so I'm just going to have to see how it goes. I might actually go through it and leave that as a void in the piece. I just really don't know, and it depends how far in it goes. There's a lot of variables. So I'm going to stop talking now and I'm just going to start turning, and we'll see what occurs. Determined now that this is going to be the base, but I'm not going to turn it down anymore here now. I'm going to leave it as thick as that now. There's the sort of rough shape that I'm going to go for, and I'll now set up the Simon Hope hollowing jig, and we'll see what happens when we hollow out. Well, on this setup, I've set it up slightly differently on this occasion. I'm setting it up on this side of the lathe to see how that works. It takes about 2 minutes to assemble it together, and we'll see how it works in this configuration. Well, it's dilemma time, and I'll explain to you why in a minute. I'll bring you closer and show you the inside, which I'm really happy with, but I have a design decision to make, and I'm not one for two-parters as a rule, but I'm going to, when I've shown you what my dilemma is, I'm going to end this video, and then there'll be a part 2 where I actually finish it off one way or the other. I think I've got, my decision is made, but I want to think about it, and I don't want to rush it because I like the piece. So I'll bring you closer and show you that the inside is now finished, and I'll go through the reasoning behind what I'm thinking. So here you can see the inside. There are a couple of little ridges at the bottom which I've yet to sort out, and I'll have enough wood there to be able to do that. But my dilemma is as follows. And I've got sort of around 6 to 7 mil all around here, and then down to this area, when we start to go to the inclusion, it is a lot less than that. In fact, it's a couple of mil, and in some places it's actually showing light through. Okay, well here's the piece from a different angle now, looking straight on as I'm looking at it, and I'm actually standing behind the camera. The dilemma I have is, as I explained, if I actually hollow out any more, I'm going to, and I've put a light in here, you can see the light coming through here and there already, and a piece up here. Now I love this bit of inclusion. I've stabilised it with CA glue, not for getting the result I'm looking at now, but just to stop it flying apart while I'm working on it. So I either go with carrying on hollowing inside to get the wall thickness down to what I would term a decent thickness. It's too thick at the moment. Well, of course, you can see here, to get to this, I'm literally going to lose all of this. Now I know having a void is quite nice, but I really like the look of this. I want to keep it. So I'm going to reduce the overall size of the piece, keeping the shape virtually the same. I will lose quite a bit of this, I don't mind about that. And the other advantage, if I bring the size of the piece down a bit, this will be more in the curvature of the piece. It won't be such a dip, because again on the inside the bark is showing on the inside excuse me, on this bit, so I can reduce that down. So this will be reduced in size, but on this particular piece that is something I'd really dearly like to keep, which I think I'm going to go for. And if I reduce it slightly, then this is the actual depth of hollowing that I've done, and so I've got quite a bit of meat there to play with to get a really quite a narrow foot, so I'm not going to lose the overall proportions. So that's my thinking, that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to leave it there for this part 1. Part 2 will be in the very near future. Thank you very much indeed for watching and sticking with me. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you very soon. Cheers now.